All right, everybody, welcome out to the Log Room Guys Craft Beer Show. It is Tuesday, June the 6th, 2023. Jersey Johnny coming at you. With me, as always, is none other than Mr. Beer Samurai. Say hello, Mr. Samurai.
Hi, everybody.
Hi,
Sorry, I got churro in my mouth.
Why do you have churro in your mouth?
You know I got churro in my mouth. Everyone knows why I got churro in my mouth.
Happy
National Churro Day, yes.
Happy National Churro Day. There you go. As he makes a lot of noise to get another churro out. These are authentic, house-made, not his house, but
No. This is from a restaurant on Bergen Line Avenue, and it's the other side of Bergen Line. So I guess is it North? No, Kennedy is that. So it's Union City.
It's Union City.
Mm-hmm. So these are done the right way. This was sitting in the bottom of the bag. That's why it's got not much sugar on it. But the churros that you normally get are just like shit ton of sugar, cinnamon. This is just
it's basically an elongated Zeppeli with cinnamon and sugar on it.
Yeah, pretty much.
More or less. A little bit crispier, not too much crispier, a little bit more of a deep fried kind of feeling.
No, these been sitting around for a little bit, so a little
softer,
a little chilly, like Zeppelis get when they've been sitting around for a bit.
Right.
Actually, I don't know. Normally, Zeppelis do sit around for a bit before they get eaten for some reason. Mostly because they're being dunked in honey and sprinkled with nonpareils and.
Those. If you're going to do it that way, but I kind of make sure that when I'm going to get them, if I'm whether it's the boardwalk or whether it's a fair or wherever I'm getting them or whatever, I'm going by. I'm seeing them taken just out of the oil, right? Boom, just into the thing, and I'm running right up. Boom, give me 12. Boom, done.
And the oil is key. The oil has to be, oil has to be clean.
Oh yeah,
has to be as hot as they can get it.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be clean. And the thing about this place, there's a window on the sidewalk. You go up, they're $8 for $1.
$8 for $1.
8 of these for $1.
That's a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm. For 25 cents each, they'll fill them with guava.
They'll fill them with guava. There you go.
That's a little weird for me. I passed on that. Apparently, they used to do them with caramel in them, and that I could be down for that.
Gotcha. That's cool.
So, anyway,
okay.
Happy.
On that note, happy National Churro Day. It's also happy Adopt a New Phobia Day.
I've adopted phobia. I'm scared now of
adopting a new phobia.
No, screen crawls.
Screen crawls. There we go. Okay, so that's a new phobia.
That's a brand new phobia.
It's a brand new phobia. Although, no, you know what? I think somebody somewhere is probably nervous of that. It's a
fear of screen crawls. I don't know.
Trigger. It's not. Maybe there's not an actual phobia for it.
There is one exist. Let's see.
Nothing.
No, it keeps coming up as trypophobia, which is an aversion to clusters or holes or cracks. So I don't think they're getting screen. I think they're just going with crawled. Maybe I don't know what it's playing off of.
There you go.
No, there's no phobia for that.
There you go.
So we'll call it I don't know. Logger's Liphophobia.
There you go.
Call it that.
So what's on TV?
I guess I don't know what she's watching. She's watching True Blood again.
There you go.
It gets loud every now and then.
Gotta love it. So what are you drinking? All right, let's go. If anybody hasn't guessed, tonight is just the two of us.
Yeah. But there's a reason for it, other than not having a guest.
Well, yeah, it's twofold. One, we had plans. We had to switch things around a little bit, but
oh, there it is.
There you go. There you go. Okay, just 10 seconds of it, so YouTube doesn't bounce the video.
There we go.
Because we don't have that. Even though it's a karaoke one, it's not the regular one. But in any event, So we want to talk about AC Beerfest. We want to have a bunch to talk about.
Oh, I was there.
Beerfest. You were there for the first time in 17 years. You were there.
Well, the first time
technically 18 years.
First time, technically
The first
You
time
could say first time in 100 years, John. You'd still be accurate.
that is true. That is true. First time ever. You were there the
Ever.
first time ever.
First time ever.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
So anyway, cool. Very, very, very cool. So let's pour some beer and get to drinking.
I already poured a beer.
What are you drinking for your first beer, sir?
Well, I just ate a bunch of churros. I'm like trying to figure out something. What pairs with a churro? If
A dance around a bush, maybe.
Dance around a bush, maybe. I was talking about a beer, but we could dance around a bush. A non-existent bush, actually. So
There you go.
a monkey. So Monkey Chase the Weasel is out. This is the carton's mulberry flavored Highlander Weiss. The first one was apparently brewed with mulberries gathered from the bush that grew out the back of the brewery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that was a small batch, so they only needed a few. Now they need more than a few. So
did you ever see that bush, John?
I did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was.
That bush actually existed. They had a mulberry bush.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw it. I saw the bush.
That's such a good beer.
There you
I
go.
really do like that beer. And you are drinking what?
I am drinking.
I drank that. I drank one of those the other night.
You did you?
I did. Thank you to John, and I appropriately thanked you on the
check-in.
Yep.
My first beer is going to be. It's a beer from Against the Grain in Louisville.
Well, we know it's a beer, but what's it called?
It's called a beer.
Right. Oh, do they do a B beer?
I think it's just a beer. That's not a beer. It's a beer. Right?
Oh, you said a beer.
It's an American light lager, 4.5%. And I bet you it's, I bet you I've actually had it already, but it's better than most American light lagers per se. So.
That goes without saying. So we're not going to say it.
Exactly.
Except we just did.
Very tasty little,
very
tasty little beer there. So.
It's a tasty little number.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. Definitely bigger than the 4.5% American light lager moniker that it has. It's got a little bit more beef to it, mouthfeel wise, and
they put beef in it.
It's got a little more body. How's that?
Oh, okay.
Most people knew what I was saying, but you had to be specific. So
exactly
that's what we love about you. So.
But I play.
Exactly. So it's got a little bit more body to it than you would expect from that, and a little bit more malt flavor too. A little bit of caramel coming through. It's pretty tasty beer for a 4.5% American lager. So there you go. And it's only light because of the alcohol, not necessarily because of the malt bill. So, and the malt bill and the alcohol have a little to do with each other, as we all know. But
it has everything to do with each other.
But
they didn't attenuate all the malts.
Yeah, there's a little bit of sweetness in there, and it's playing nicely, and it's pretty tasty.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
There you go. Okay, so let's discuss.
What are we discussing?
We're going to discuss this past weekend, Atlantic City Beer and Music Festival. There was a lot going on, so a lot to discuss. Let's see. Let's start with Friday. Okay, day before the whole festival started. Getting down to Atlantic City and enjoying some, time out and about, food, drink, so forth and so on. We started at the Seed.
Yes.
Before we talk about the Seed, I did mention to Dave while we were there. I said, as close as now, he obviously is further from me from the Seed than I am, but I can be at the Seed. With no traffic, I can be at the Seed in under an hour.
Right.
And I I said to him, I was like, why am I not here more often?
Yes.
Why do I not take a ride down here more often? It's just stupid, really. So
yeah, and there's a bunch of breweries to hit along the way as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, why not?
Exactly. So great beer. If you've never been, go. If you have the opportunity to go. If you've been, then you know what we're talking about. So go back. Their lagers are fantastic.
Yeah.
Their IPAs are pretty damn tasty.
They're pretty damn solid, yeah.
Amanda, she knows what she's doing. So get down there, have some beer there. That was amazing. Words from you on the experience at the Seed?
Well, first of all, we all had fears we weren't going to make it because they had closed the parkway down in the morning
This is true.
due to the brush fire at Bass River.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, I'm sure some of our viewers are dealing with smoke from Canada right now. I mean, when I look out the window, we've got a pall of smoke out there. This is from massive brush fires in eastern Canada.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been able to I haven't seen anything yet to see exactly where they are.
I
Because
was actually looking before, and I haven't.
Yeah, all of our news just talks about its impact here rather than
What's up there?
Yeah, what's going on up there. It's like they're on fire, man. So it looks like it's coming. Where would that be?
Look at that. I put in where is the, and Google populated fire in Canada.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Is it telling you where it is?
It is right here. It's in. Wow, there are two. There's I'm sorry, there's three. I'm sorry. Alberta, British Columbia, and Nova Scotia. So on both ends of the country.
Well, the one from Alberta, I think, is the one that's mostly impacting us. British Columbia is probably impacting us a little bit because that's west. It comes out across.
And Nova Scotia is just going out to sea. So
yeah, Nova Scotia is probably not impacting us whatsoever.
Yeah,
you wouldn't think.
You wouldn't.
I can see Alberta, depending on the way the jet stream is moving, bring it down here. So and now for the 7-day forecast. I think we're doing a weather report.
There'll be a cold front moving in this area here, and I'm on a green screen right now. So
No.
Anyway, quick aside. You ever see the movie Worth Winning?
No, is it worth watching?
It's from the late 80s, 88, 89, maybe 90. I think it was late 88 or 89. Mark Harmon starred.
That'll tell you a lot right there.
He was right.
Back then, I mean, I love him in NCIS. I think he's really grown into a pretty damn good actor. But back then,
it was very campy. The films he was in back then.
Yes.
But in any event, he was a weather. He was a weather man or weather reporter. Wasn't a meteorologist. He read the weather. That's what he said. He read the weather. But it was the whole premise of the movie was they bet a friend of his bet him that he couldn't get 3 women to fall in love with him. Bing, bang, boom, ha, ha. And then all hijinks ensue, right? But in the beginning of the movie, he gave a weather report. He's on the news. The movie is him doing the weather on the news. And he turns to the host of the news, the anchor. And I think her name was Jen or whatever it was. Doesn't matter. She goes, "What are you gonna?" He goes, "What are you gonna do this weekend, Jen?" And she says, "I'm going up to the country." Taylor was his name. Taylor Worth Winning. Get it? There you go. And
that's clever.
Clever, right? So she says, "Somebody go out to the country," and then he says, "There you go, Jen, whatever her last name was, outstanding in her field." There you go. So it was just,
boom. I wish I had the sound effects machine up there.
There you go. There you go.
Okay, so we talked about fire. So anyway, the Garden State Parkway, they had closed it down.
Mm-hmm.
So we were all figuring out alternate routes to get there. Some including boats and zeppelins and all kinds of, but not zeppelis. We talked about that earlier.
No, we weren't thinking about taking a zeppeli.
No. No,
I might have been thinking about eating a zeppeli because it was going down to shore.
Zeppeli, is that the thing they bring out of the hockey games?
That's the
Zamboni. That sounds delicious too, actually.
I could go for a good Zamboni with a little powdered sugar on it.
Yeah. I was thinking of a Zamboni sandwich.
There you go.
The Zamboni and mutz.
Oh, that's good. Good. That's good eating. Good eating right there.
Oh man, that's good eating there, Clark. But now so just as we had all kind of figured out how we're going to circumvent this and get into Atlantic City, they opened the place up. They opened up the exits. Everything opened up. It was nice. You had your usual summer pockets of high traffic on the way down that you usually get. The bridge was clear. Benny Hill was clear.
Yeah, it was.
But you live below Benny Hill. How do you know it's clear?
Because I looked at the traffic
Oh.
report.
But the exits for 36, 35, 33, 66, 70, 37, all of those. As you got to them, everything slowed down.
Mm-hmm. The worst slowdown below Benny Hill, and I sat in it, was Seaside. It was 82. That was the worst one. That was the one that backed up the most.
Yeah, that's Route 37.
98 always backs up a little bit. It gets, as you get more the busier weekends, you're gonna 98 always backs up a little bit. But there's a good separation there because you get all the lanes coming open after the Asbury merge.
Yeah.
And they kind of stay a pretty large section of the Parkway, so there's not as bad a traffic getting off 98 because it is a pretty big intersection. But 82 is for everybody that goes out 37 going towards Seaside and gets off that exit, 82A or B or whatever it is, 82A, I guess it is.
Everyone goes that route.
There's 3 lanes and there's 1 lane of an exit.
Yep.
You would think by now they would have increased the size of that.
If you're smart, you'll get off on 70 and
hell yeah.
Yeah, take Route 70 down to jump on Hooper Avenue or Bridge and go down that way.
I mean, you get off 89 and hop right on Sharrock Road and take that down. That's
what you can do.
Yeah.
And we have a tractor trailer jackknife. Then we turned into a friggin' traffic report.
We are a news agency now.
Now in sports, Jacob deGrom was put on the IR, and he's going to have surgery on his elbow.
Mm-hmm. Second time he had Tommy John. Pretty sure he had Tommy John in college. So this is the second time he's having Tommy John. I'm pretty sure.
He had Tommy John in college as a professor?
Yeah. Tommy John was a professor in college.
He's a civics professor.
It was.
Civics 302.
Civics
302. Or Finance 302. How to make a lot of money in baseball and barely take the mound.
Those of you just tuning in, this is a craft beer podcast.
Now that we've got the weather, the traffic, and sports out of the way, right. No. So we get down to the seed. Our friend Gene had been there since about 12:30.
The day before.
They just didn't have the heart to kick him out when they closed. Just
you hang out. We'll be here in the morning. We'll be back.
Oh yeah. I arrived right at the same time as Matt. We saw him getting out of his car as our Uber pulled up. So we actually beat him into the building because we had the Uber just drop us off at the front, and he parked. But yeah, we had a few there, man. There was a lot of dignitaries there.
There were.
Right, we had Mike Kivovitz.
Yep, you had Mike Kivovitz. Let me pulling up a photo from that day. Here you had. There you go. You had Mike Kivovitz.
Yeah, there's Kivo right there in the back. So that's NJCB, NewJerseyCraftBeer.com. Mm-hmm. So he was there. Who else did we have there?
Well, me and you were there.
We were there. Mm-hmm. I do remember that.
Great shirt you're wearing. Love it. That's nice.
It's a good shirt. It's a nice shirt. I like that shirt.
And then there was this Motley Crue.
Oh, yes. Al Gattulo, the erstwhile voice of the Jets and Giants. Not anymore. Said erstwhile.
He does come on the Get On With the Sports podcast every now and again. So
yeah, good. I'm going to have to mute myself and take a quick break.
You're going to mute yourself and take a quick break.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you can,
I will vamp for a while. How's that?
You vamp for a while, but I'll be right back.
You got to do what you got to do. All right. So anyway, the beers, the beer that was there was just phenomenal. Had a dark mild. In fact, I got them all right here, so I don't have to even guess what they were. Here we go. Just pull that back up here. All right. I had the English dark mild, 4.1%. It was a collab. It's called Cozy Up. It was a collab with Forest and Maine out of Pennsylvania. Fantastic beer. Unbelievably fantastic beer. Loved it. Loved every bit of it. Also had the Baltic Porter, which was phenomenal. Until the Sun, it's called. Brewed with Rabbit Hill malt, Rabbit Hill Pilsner malt, Munich, and rye malt. Some specialty dark grain, so forth. So I'm just reading the menu here, vamping while Dave goes. But no, these beers are fantastic, though. Seriously, nothing about them is not absolutely amazing. Of course, as simple as Shadows, the dark lager. Those of you who have been watching the show or listening to the show for any amount of time know I'm a big short spear and dark lager whore, as is Samurai. And theirs is exceptional. It's so good. I had the Keller Pills as well, and there was another one I had. What was the other one that I had? The Ordinary Bitter. Amazing little English pub ale. Was fantastic. So
oh yeah, there.
The
still part of the seed?
Yeah. I was just going over the beers that we had while we were there. It was just amazing.
Yeah. It was. Did you go through the rest of the royalty that had shown up?
I didn't. I just went over the beers. I saved the royalty for you to back.
No, because you probably remember it better than I do. Mm. You know how I am with names.
Everybody was there. Icarus, all the guys from Icarus, all the crew from Icarus was there. The girls too.
We were celebrating Jason's birthday from the day before.
Yep. And then there was no,
Jesus wasn't there.
Jesus was not there. No. He was there in spirit.
That's very good. No, that's the Holy Ghost. I know you always confuse those two. That was the Holy Ghost, John.
Anyway,
no, he was off at a winery, turning the water into wine for them. Yeah,
exactly right. So, in any event, no, it just pretty much anybody who was anybody. No, I'm kidding. No, there was a lot of great people there. It's the industry party on the Friday night before AC Beerfest, and it's the place to be. Even if you're not in the industry, and you know a lot of people in the industry, the beer's fantastic. Go there, rub elbows if you want to call it that, whatever you want to do. Look, we're no different than you. We just do a little bit more in the industry than you do. That's all. So, what's the difference? But
people like you and me, we support it.
We're supporting.
We support it. No, I'm not you, Johnny. You make stuff. I drink it.
You drink it. Yeah. I drink it too. But anyway, so it's fantastic time. Anyway, so. We ducked out of there though, and
we snuck out the back door. Yep. They put an orange traffic cone in the doorway, so you couldn't do that. Mm-hmm. But all of us are over a foot tall, so we're able to just kind of glide right over that thing.
Under a foot and a half tall, and less than 2 feet wide, and less than 3 feet wide. So we can,
spread across that thing, and went into there's a distillery next door.
Little Water Distilling. Yep.
Little Water. Mm-hmm. And we did have just a little water.
A
little bit. Really, really nice drinks.
Yeah, they were fantastic. They really were.
I think that's the best Manhattan I've had at a New Jersey distillery. Mm-hmm. I'll say that right now.
Yeah. What was that again? I had what was the fig? It was.
It's strange because it wasn't even a gin drink.
It wasn't a gin drink, but it was,
what was it? It wasn't rye. It was bourbon, wasn't it?
It was bourbon. It was like a fig old fashioned of sorts, kind of.
Yeah.
Thing. But it was fantastic. So we sat there, had a little booze, if you will, and then we decided, it's time to eat. So went and had a good burger. Good burger. And and then popped around for a little bit. There's some parties going on. Kivo was throwing a party for NJC Beef, the kickoff party.
By the time we had got there, he had moved
it to the main kickoff party for the event, which was up at up the Oceans Resort. So we went up there for a while. But so we best was it wasn't too late at night because you got to be up early the next day. And plus it's Friday, right? Because you work half a day.
Right. Yeah, I had actually kicked off of work at 2.
There you go. But on to the main event, the actual Beerfest. So we get there on Tuesday. How am I talking about? I'm reading the word Tuesday here on my piece of paper. We get there on Saturday. Tuesday Wells. Yeah. She was.
Man, I just gave away my age.
Yeah. Well, you know what? What was your favorite show with Tuesday Wells in it?
I don't even know.
Oh, come on.
I know my favorite show with Wednesday in it.
Dobie Gillis.
Never watched Dobie Gillis.
No. Tuesday Weld. Bob Denver was Maynard G. Krebs.
I remember Maynard G. Krebs.
And the fancy rich kid was played by.
I told you I had to watch it. I don't know. Don't quiz me.
let's put it this way. He wound up being involved a little bit with Madonna for a while. In the late 80s, after a film, after like a period film about like zoot suit wearing private investigators called Dick Tracy.
Oh, that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you looking for me to supply the name?
Yeah.
Because you've forgotten it?
No, I haven't forgotten it. I'll give you a hint. Starts with a W.
Walter Cronkite.
Walter Cronkite, exactly. Yes, Madonna dated Walter Cronkite for a while.
There actually was a song written about him, supposedly written about him, called "You're So Vain"
By Carly Simon. Yep.
Right, and that's Warren Beatty. He wasn't he Shirley MacLaine's brother?
You know what? Maybe. Yes.
I think that was.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Now we've just done the celebrity portion, the Hollywood portion of the news.
It's the gossip column of the show. Anyway, so
back to beer.
So we get there anyway. We get there, and it's a hurricane. It is overcast, not raining. Luckily, not.
Oh yeah, when we get there that morning, my God, it was cold and windy.
Cold, windy. I mean, bitter. The wind was like. The gusts were, I would say, honestly, probably 35, 40 miles an hour.
I'd say about 35, yeah.
It was stupid. And, but you know what?
But one piece of note.
Go ahead.
My hat never came off my head.
Nope, neither did mine.
I was wearing a cowboy hat. Now, caps are infamous for staying put. Cowboy hats, maybe not so much because they got the wide brim. Mm-hmm. Mine never left my head.
Yours never left your head. And just so everybody knows what we're talking about, what hat he was wearing.
Because on our last show, I did promise I'd be wearing a Hawaiian shirt and a cowboy hat. And there's a Hawaiian shirt and the cowboy hat.
And there it is, right there. And right there.
There's Miss Cthulhu again.
Yeah. And if you watched the live video, you saw the three of us.
Yep.
On the live video. But in any event, but the beer was flowing, right? There was plenty of beer flowing. If you had checked out any of the videos posted, you saw the lines were insane. It was sold out. It was a sold out event. 8,500 people. Dropkick Murphys were playing on
Saturday.
311 played on Sunday. Both amazing bands.
Now, there was a lot of mohawked kilt wearers on Saturday.
Okay. Yes, there were.
Right. The audience probably changed a little bit for 311. You see a lot of more tie dye.
Yeah, it was a little bit more. A little bit more. I don't want to say punk because punk like takes you back to like 79 to 82. It wasn't that. It was like 90s. What 90s grungy punk would have been with the 311 crowd, right? But they played great. They were amazing too. I know you weren't there for it, but they were amazing. Nope. On Sunday, the weather was beautiful. It wasn't hot. It was nice. It was in the mid 60s, a little warmer, very comfortable, little light breeze, perfect weather. So night and day differences in the weather, but both days amazing beer, amazing people, amazing breweries, amazing music, amazing bands. Everybody was there. The crowd was amazing. I'm not blowing smoke up anybody's ass. The crowd was amazing. Everybody there. There were no,
there were no fights.
There were no fights. Everybody got along. It was
every now and then there'd be a drop taster.
Well, but that's part of the entertainment, right? Everybody's right, So
yeah, there's one guy going because he's got nothing to drink out of.
Yep.
No, it was a lot of fun. The lines weren't too bad at the booths. They moved. The Normandy, the place that did Normandy style cider, that was a little slow because they took you. Well, we got to the front of the line and they took you through their ciders, and man, that was some pretty good stuff. Yes. Really enjoyed that because the ciders from France and England are not like the ciders we get in this country. Let's face it, we're Americans. Americans like stuff fried and they like stuff sweet.
Yep.
As I've got a bag of churros sitting over here. We're Americans. That's what we like. But the cider in England and France, it's not that sweet. No. You really get to taste the apples, which is fantastic.
There's not a lot of added sugar. There's not a lot of
Nope.
residual sugar. It's the actual. It's what it's meant to be. It's what it's
Yep.
meant to taste like, right? So,
Yeah, it wasn't Americanized with all the, to the American sweet tooth. So I recognize that beer too, John.
yepper.
I think that's a Bach.
It's my Bach.
It's everybody's Bach.
It's everybody's Bach. So
I had a friend in high school, and his niece, his sister and her husband had bought her a dresser, and top of the dresser was, the top of it was Formica.
Mm-hmm.
So to tell her, I was like, "Is this Formica?" She's like, "No, it's for me."
that's for me, right? Yeah.
It's so cute.
Yeah, it is. What are you drinking for your second beer there?
Well, I'm drinking another carton.
Mm-hmm.
It says "Waits for You." So it's a Vienna.
Did
lager.
Tom make that beer?
Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Tom who?
I'll give you a minute.
Tom. You mean Billy?
No, I mean Tom.
No, there's only one T.
Yeah.
Tom Waits is played with two T's.
What's the name of it?
Waits for You. It's a Billy Joel song.
Yeah, I know it is. I was making a separate joke.
A separate joke. Well, I was saying this. It's Waits. Yeah, it's Tom Waits.
I know.
My typewriter's been drinking, not me. Which so I think it was one of his albums, right? My typewriter's been drinking, not me.
Yep, exactly.
Man, that guy had quite a voice, didn't he?
He did.
He sang like Buster Poindexter spoke.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right? That's what it sounded like. But yeah, so Waits for You. Cthulhu and I broke into a little chorus of it at the Seed when he brought it up. Because you see Augie's new beer? Oops, that's one.
That's one.
Sorry.
Don't do it again. How is it?
It's awful. No, it's not awful. It's good.
What's amazing is that I don't remember the song "Lager Waits for You."
It's a B-side. Actually, Vienna was a B-side.
Vienna was a B-side.
Yeah, not a lot of you got to be a Billy Joel fan
to know that song. Or Billy Joel fan, or anybody that watched and liked, younger girls, whatever you want to call it. Not on a pigeonhole. Some guys could like the movie too. And obviously, I've seen the movie 13 going on 30.
Oh, okay.
It was in that movie, and
pretty
much the entire song played through in one section of the movie. So,
well, I know it because I had. So here's the thing, kids.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, we had these things called albums.
We did, and we played when we got an album.
We played the whole thing.
We listened to all the songs on it. Even if we bought it for one song, we knew them all. That was it. So.
I'll say one thing right now. If you've got this beer and you have this beer,
mm-hmm.
don't follow this beer from this beer. It's doing all kinds of weird things to this. I'm gonna have.
Why don't you clear your palate with another churro?
Yeah, that'll help. No, I purposely drank the monkey first to cut through the churro. Because sour cuts through sweet. Mm-hmm. It's got a little sweetness itself, but it's doing some really funky stuff to this Vienna lager.
Interesting, very interesting.
I get the feeling I'll get down to it when I get about halfway through. But yeah, I'm going to have to clear the palate with this.
Gotcha. This is fantastic.
It's really good.
Yeah, I'll throw this up there. I'm a Ram from Crosstown Brewing in Memphis,
Tennessee. You're a bull. You're not a Ram.
You're a Ram. I'm a bull. Right. So this beer is called Dave's a Ram, and
or Ramalama Ding Dong.
Ramalama Ding Dong.
I'm a Ram or a Ding Dong.
So hits it. So, this is pretty damn tasty. This beer. I'd even venture to say that this is even, it's a Maibach, but I'd say that it's probably even a little bit more deeper of a toffee note, toffee noted Märzen. And the Maibach and the Märzen are very similar beers anyway, but it's a little bit lighter.
It's lighter in body, but darker in character.
Yeah.
Right?
It's pretty damn tasty. So
that's
cheers to Crosstown Brewing. This is pretty special.
Yeah, that was a yummy one. That was a yummy one. I will finish the night on one that another one that you brought up. It might be the last one I have left of the stuff you brought up for me.
There you go. I'm certainly going to have the same beer, so we'll talk about we'll wax nostalgic about that style and that beer together.
There we go.
There you go. All right. So, all right.
Back to Atlantic City. We've pretty much covered a lot about what happened in Atlantic City.
Genericness. I mean, we went live. We went live.
Yeah,
we did like a 3-minute, 4-minute, 3-minute video.
If that, yeah, about.
It was pretty fun. Brian made a special appearance.
Yeah, even though
then we busted his chops and he left
because we'd fired his ass for dereliction of duty.
Mm-hmm.
He used to be our producer.
Mm-hmm.
We don't hear a peep at him anymore, so he lost his job.
We fired him for dereliction of duty because he was just derelicting it very bad. So
he's a derelict.
He's a derelict. But
we're not saying he licks Derek.
He doesn't lick Derek.
Yeah. I don't think we know any Dereks. Do we know any Dereks?
Derek, Bo Derek.
Well, he would do that. Derek Jeter, maybe not.
Probably not. Probably not.
He's a Mets fan.
He's a Mets fan. Yeah, he wouldn't do that
unless you use the old term "lick" as in beat him up, but he couldn't.
And probably not.
No, probably
not
not.
So much.
That's not happening.
But in any event, we digress. As one of our
done for the whole show.
As we've done every 5 minutes so far. That's why these shows are so fun, because you never know where we're going. You know why you never know where we're going?
We
never know where we're going.
We'll pick maybe one topic to discuss during the show and just let it roll from there. And so what happens? You get the weather, you get traffic, you get sports.
Exactly. So, but all in all, it was a great weekend. Now,
speaking of digressing.
Oh, digress away. Go ahead.
Oh, no. Look at the comments.
Oh, we got a comment.
This is the king of digressing right here.
Oh, Tom Overhill, but I digress. Yes.
There he is.
Thank you, Tom. He said it for us. We didn't have to.
There we go. And now I forgot where we digressed to.
I was about to say, with the weather on Saturday, with the weather the way it was, with the wind and the coldness, everybody, the chill that was coming with that wind. Any vendor, whether they were a merch vendor or whether it was just a brewery selling merch, anybody that had sweatshirts made banks on Saturday.
Kerry was looking for like a Scully or something, some like a knit cap.
A couple of them had Scullies. A couple of them had.
Well, they sold out like within minutes.
Oh yeah.
And then so she went to this one booth. They had a whole bunch of caps, and she asked us if they had any knit caps. Mm-hmm. And they're like, guys, like I would have brought some, but I didn't think they're going to sell. Like you would have sold every single one in your
every single one. Yeah, that's my point too. Tom just said you're stealing my shtick. No, we're not, Tom. We're honoring you by using your shtick.
This is called an homage.
It's an homage.
Every time John uses that phrase, he mentions the beer whisperer,
exactly,
or the whiskey whisperer, or Tom Overhill. So it's one of you three guys.
It's one of the three. It's one of the three of you, Tom. But,
yeah, it's funny because I really thought that after, at the end of the beer festival, I would be seeing three of Tom, even though he wasn't even there.
He said, "LOL." Yeah, I know.
But I didn't really actually drink that much.
No, you know what? I really didn't either. I barely left the booth. I mean, we were so slammed. It was ridiculous.
I tell you what, I think I drank more Nautical Twilights than all the rest of the beers at the festival put together.
You probably did.
I'm just standing next to the jockey box going, I'll have another. I'll have another. Well, the good thing about Nautical Twilight is it's because of the coffee in it, because of the porter, the alcohol level. It's a warming beer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I drank a number of them myself to warm up. But I was going to say, you mentioned that about the Scullies. We were talking back in early March. We were going to order hoodies. We had finally found a place. We had looked for several months because we wanted to order them back in like October, right?
Right.
We finally found a place that had the brand we wanted of hoodies, the right price, the right quantities that we could order.
But you wanted to hold off because summer was coming, right?
Well, no, we said if we order them now, we're going to get them late March. who's going to buy them in April or later, right?
Yeah, no, they would have
So we
bought them
said,
in
you know what,
June.
hold off. We'll buy them in September, and we'll still have them available for October, November, going into those months with some beer fest and so forth. If we had ordered them, we would have sold out of them
Every single
on
one of them.
Saturday. Every one of them.
Yep.
So, but sold a bunch of T-shirts. That was good.
Nice. And debuted the new beer, Mermango.
Yep.
And because John's not gonna, John's not gonna toot his own horn here, so I'll toot it for him. Mermango, according to Drainpour, which is they're a online beer mag, rated Coastal Brewworks Mermango the number 2 beer at the beer festival. Well deserved. It was if you like your tropical IPAs and you like mango, if you like those mango flavors to really come through, it's a nice, refreshing IPA.
Nice little vanilla in it too to just underlie it. Just a little on. Just you only get it on. You smell a little in the nose, which the nose feel, if you will.
The nose feel,
right? But just on the finish, it's really nice. But yeah, it's a tasty beer. So,
yes, Matt did a good job with that one. Real nice job with that one.
It's good beer. Good beer.
What's the can you mention what the next new beer is up?
I could, but then I'd have to kill you. So
again,
right? No, there'll be a new IPA out during the summer. Can't say when. Primarily because we don't have it's not on the brew schedule yet, so I can't tell you when because of that. But I will tell you it'll be in the summer. During the summer months, there'll be a new IPA. Yeah, look for things to start picking up because things are starting to pick up.
So it's be the 4th IPA in the catalog. So it'll be 4 IPAs, a porter, and a Vienna lager.
There you go.
And your Vienna lager, we didn't have to wait for
4 IPAs, a porter, Vienna lager, and you forgot the hef.
The
Frising Tide. The Frising Tide.
Oh God, yeah, I forgot about the wheat. I about Frising.
So
yeah, probably because I'm not a huge wheat beer.
Right.
Well, yeah, it's the yellow one.
There
you go. That one. Yeah, you were pointing at awkward tan lines there.
I know. I was trying to move myself because it's backwards here. So
yeah, I know.
Like if I need to go that way and I move it that way, it's fine. But
So, question for me. These festivals, do you see bumps in sales after these festivals?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So people have tried it, like, oh my God, this is great. I need to go find some, or I need my friends to try some.
And the bigger beer fests, you see bumps in sales on both ends. You see bumps in sales with beer that's in stores and on taps, obviously, and you also see bumps in sales from the on the wholesale side of things, right? On the buyers, they'll hear what went on at the beer fest, so forth and so on, right? And they'll gain a little more interest or maybe a little more traction for the sales for that. But a small beer fest, it's more about just the consumer. It's more about just which is the more important part because you're going to sell beer to the beer buyers, right? It doesn't matter. You want to get in front of the consumers, and that's why we do the beer fest. That's why you do that.
Direct consumer is the most lucrative, correct?
Absolutely. So
you're not paying the middleman.
Right. So it's a beautiful thing. So, but yeah, look for things to pick up with a few other beers. There'll be some more stuff this fall, and then fingers crossed. The Lord willing, we'll be open. We will be open for a little while come this time next year. So doors open.
Beautiful thing.
It'll be a beautiful thing. So all the announcements will be made right here on the show, like they've been all along. So you'll get them.
Yep. We'll see. That'll be nice.
Right. So there was some good food there. Good.
I didn't eat it. I didn't eat at the festival at all, even though you were right across from the pork roll truck.
Right across from the pork roll truck, and I wonder. And I was asked. I think I might have asked you this while we were there. I wonder if that food truck, right? That pork roll truck, right? If he has
A Taylor ham truck that he brings up here.
Taylor ham truck that he brings, or just a sticker that says Taylor ham that he puts over pork roll.
A big magnet.
When he a magnet, yeah. When he comes up to North Jersey to
that way they don't burn his truck down.
Right, yeah. It's like, look, I
You
said
see people rocking the thing, and
I said it on, and you're of the same mindset, Dave. I said it on Saturday when we were all talking about it. I grew up in Taylor ham, and I now live in pork roll. Dave grew up in pork roll. He now lives in Taylor ham. I personally, I don't give a shit.
No, it's tasty.
I don't care. When I'm in North Jersey, I order Taylor ham. When I'm in South Jersey, I order pork roll.
And you kind of have to do it that way because there's some places that you go in. If you're up here in North Jersey and you order for a pork roll, egg, and cheese, they're just going to look at you. Mm-hmm. And you're not getting anything. Mm-hmm. You better order it as Taylor ham and cheese, otherwise you're not going to get it.
Exactly.
There is one thing that both pork roll and Taylor ham can agree upon,
and that's
salt, pepper, ketchup.
Oh yeah, SPK. Right. The funniest I think was from Saturday before the fest started. The pork roll truck was just opening up, and Adrian from Bolero was right next to
Brolero.
Brolero, right? The Bolero tent was right next to the coastal tent, and Adrian's standing there, and somebody walks up to him, and he's having a conversation with him. He looks over and he sees the pork roll truck, and he says, "Oh wow, they have a pork roll truck here." And Adrian looks at him and says, "What's pork roll?" and the guy starts to explain to him what pork roll is.
Adrian's just messing with him.
So I walk over, put my arm around his chest, says, "He's busting your chops. He pretending he doesn't know what pork roll is because it's Taylor ham."
And meanwhile, PJ Wendell is wearing his Taylor ham hat.
Taylor ham hat, right?
At the New Jersey. Yeah.
No, he's wearing his pork roll hat.
It was the pork roll.
Pork roll hat, yeah.
Because he was on the pork rolls. Because he sponsored a softball game. The Taylor hams versus the pork rolls.
Yes.
You know what I refer to it as, though.
What is
Taylor brand pork roll?
Taylor brand pork. Well, that's exactly what it is. It's Taylor pork roll. That's what it is.
It's what it is. It's Taylor pork roll. The product of pork roll, Taylor is the brand. They originally had called it ham because no one knew what the hell pork roll was.
Mm-hmm. There's me and Matt with PJ, and if I can zoom in enough, you can see his hat.
To the other side. There you go. Right there. You can just make it out. But the thing is, the logo is the Taylor logo, though. Mm-hmm. Even though it says pork roll, it is the Taylor logo.
I think I can actually.
There it is. Taylor pork roll. I told you it was the
pork
Taylor.
roll. It's Taylor.
I told you it was the Taylor.
I'm well aware that it's Taylor pork roll. I sold it for many years via my father and the Stuman's routes.
So, but at any rate, yeah, so that was fun. I think the only food that we got there, Carrie had a couple pickles.
Pickles were good. The pickles were good.
So a couple pickles.
The kettle corn was fantastic.
Yeah, there were only a few booths. They were just a few booths down from you.
They were just a few booths down, and brought a bag. And we were just talking about it before the show. We started the show. We bought a bag of garlic parm kettle corn. We haven't even broken it open yet. How stupid are we? I mean, that thing would have been gone if we opened it in the car on the way home. It would have been gone by the time we got home.
Yeah, no
right?
No doubt.
We haven't even opened it.
Interesting. Now,
not by design either. We just never got to it.
Now, didn't eat at the festival. But we had just come from White House.
Yeah, you went to White House before.
Yep.
Before.
Yep.
We actually had White House on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Chris from Five Dimes had gone over. He decided he wanted White House for breakfast before we got over to the Beerfest.
Okay.
Set up, and he got a bunch of subs, and he got an extra and dropped it off by us. So we had White House.
I forgot to.
Cheers, thank you, Chris. Appreciate it.
That's a good man. I forgot to mention to Carrie that we're basically, when you're Atlantic City, see where we live in New Jersey, you're basically in New York City.
Pretty much.
When you're Atlantic City, you're basically in Philadelphia's beach.
Yeah.
One of their many beaches. So
well, you figure Philly is Atlantic City and South are Philly beaches.
Right. Exactly.
You know, LBI is still more North Jersey. There's people from Philly that go to LBI.
Yeah.
LBI is pretty still New York.
That's a good break right there.
Yeah.
So I forgot to warn her about this because she ordered the Italian sub. Okay, a Philly Italian sub and a New York Italian sub are two different animals.
It's delicious. It's not the same thing.
But she was expecting the Italian, so she was not all appreciative of White House. She said the bread's fantastic. Of course, yes, the bread is absolutely.
Well, there's
fantastic.
mayo on it. There's the hot peppers. She
Oh no,
sometimes hot peppers on-
she loves hot peppers. She loves the mayo.
Mhm.
That wasn't the problem. It was the meats themselves are different than what you get up here.
Right. It was not the same. I don't want to say same quality because it's quality
No.
meat, but it's different meat.
It's different meat. So the salami, it's a different type of salami.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You get more of a, I think in New York, you get more of a Genoa salami. You get like a softer salami down
This
there.
was hard salami day. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. She said, "What is this, bologna?" Because it's, you're used to what you're used to. The gabagool wasn't really the gabagool was capicola, not gabagool.
It's not gabagool. It's not gabagool. And you don't even, if you say it right, if you say it Brooklyn, now it's not Italian by any means, because in Italy it's capicola.
Yeah, they're gonna look at you and go, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Right. But in Brooklyn, it's gabagool. And if you really want to say it, you don't even say the L at the end. It's gabagool. Gabagool.
But and there's no pepperoni on it.
None.
So it's like she's like,
but it's still delicious. It's just not the same. And I said that to her too when we were talking.
Yeah.
It's not the same sub.
And I got the chicken parm, and I forgot that that's also very different. It was a pizza chicken steak.
Right.
Is really what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh yeah, maybe I made a mistake.
The meatball is very good there.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, that looks very good.
The meatball is very good at White House.
So I was a little full. She needed some pickles. So we didn't do much eating there. But afterwards, so many places were booked up already. We all wound up at Tun Tavern.
Yep, we all wound up separately. We all wound up at Tun Tavern.
And I got to say, food's pretty damn good there.
Yeah, it is. It is. And as far as the beer goes,
food's pretty damn good there.
Food's pretty damn good there. Now, like, hey, I mean, it's historical, right?
It is.
It is.
Well, they're named after where the Marines were born.
It's an homage. It's an homage. It's an homage to the bar in Philly, which where the back in the 18. All of my Marine buddies, especially Scott and Jim.
Yeah, Jim.
Not James, Jim.
We're not going to get into the Jim James discussion, are we?
Will shoot me. It's 1880 something. No, 1780 something. 17.
I was going to say it's
1789,
before the 1800s.
1789, something like that. Anyway, it was a while ago, obviously. But they're it's an homage to that bar where the Marine Corps was born in Philly. So kudos to them. So it's got the history to it, but the food really is fantastic. The beer's good.
Okay.
Good.
So John, I'm doing the job that Brian should have been doing. 1775.
1775. There you go. Thank you.
So a year before the country was born.
I was going to say. You're going to say a year before Brian was born.
No, that's mean. It's about 5 years before Brian was born.
It's a good 5. Yeah, it's good 5.
It's a good 5. Oh, so we went up there, and Karen and I went home the next day. As you said, it was a beautiful day. You guys had another great day at the festival. So you got a Danny passed out on the grass photo.
Yeah.
Even though she probably wasn't really passed out.
She wasn't passed out.
She was just posing.
We do that every year. That's the Scott Wells pose.
Yes.
We do that every year.
And but we took a leisurely trip back up, and I introduced her to something very, very special on the way up. And if you spend a lot of time in the Belmar Asbury Park area and you've not been to Kelly's Tavern, you're doing yourself an injustice.
I live 10 blocks from Kelly's Tavern.
And I kept telling her, this place has the best Reuben you're ever going to have.
The Reuben is ridiculous there.
And I've gotten pretty good at making Reubens, and she's used to my Reuben. She knows I make a damn good Reuben. And I keep telling her, I'm trying to get it as good as theirs, and I don't think I'm there yet. And I took one bite of it, went, I'm not even close. And she's like, well, you're kidding. So she takes a bite, she goes, oh my God.
No, you're not. Yeah.
She actually got the Black Russian, which is just take the corned beef, replace that with pastrami, take the sauerkraut and replace it with coleslaw, and you got their black Reuben. Also, absolutely delicious.
Yeah. Well, and also, I mean, a lot of black Russians will, it'll be pumpernickel instead of marble rye or rye. So
Right, but they use the marble rye.
they use the marble rye. Yeah, you can use the marble rye for it too, but
Oh my god! And the thing that they had, so one of the specials they had was new for them. Apparently, conch fritters.
Really.
I've had them in the Bahamas, and these were better.
And let me tell you something about Kelly's too. I just want to throw this out there for a second.
The sushi bar?
The sushi bar. The sushi at Kelly's is better than most sushi places.
It's insane because I remember when they put it in. It's me and some friends walked in. We looked up and like, sushi bar in an Irish pub?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this isn't gonna last.
Now, Kelly's used to have another bar, a sister bar in,
and that's where the guy started,
right? And it was Clancy's.
Clancy's, yeah,
Clancy's, right? Jess coincidentally worked in Clancy's as well. So I had sushi probably at least once a week at Clancy's, and that's where he started. When they closed Clancy's, they moved him over to. He came over once in a while to Kelly's, right. But he's there. He's resident there now.
I walked in and I said, "Oh, go ahead."
Yeah.
No, it's like the sushi in an Irish pub. Mm-hmm. This is gonna last. Yeah. 23 years later, still waiting for him to close down.
Ridiculously good. It's stupid good. It's better than most. I can't say most. It's better than a lot of sushi bars. Just going. You're just generally small little 10 table sushi bars. This sushi blows it away. It's ridiculously good, and it's in an Irish pub. So there you go.
So of course I'm eating a Reuben in Kelly's. What am I drinking, John?
Gee, I think you were drinking. I'm going to say it's dark beer from maybe Ireland.
From more specifically Dublin.
Dublin.
Right. Even more specifically, St. James
Gate, right? Something like that.
Yeah. So
this is what we call a segue, folks. By the way, before we get to that segue, what are we drinking, Dave?
We are both drinking Schwarzbrau
from
Black Lager.
Schwarzbrau.
John, you brought this back up.
Had lunch at this brewery in Knoxville. Amazing. Great sauerbraten and amazing sauerbraten.
Knoxville they're constantly improving their craft beer footprint in Knoxville. It's really, I got to get back there. Mm-hmm. The smell of this already, it's got that beautiful like squidding smell to it. Mm-hmm. It smells black.
It smells black, yes.
Okay. Smell, check. It's pretty damn good.
Pretty damn tasty, this beer.
Pretty damn tasty. It's got the only thing that puts me off of it a little bit, it's got a slight cola sense to it. And this happens when you get these kind of roasts and a little too much carbonation will give it throw
it's
off
the carb. It's the carb.
Yeah, it throws off a little bit of a cola flavor. Mm-hmm. Because it's a little more highly carbonated than it should be. Mm-hmm. I think if they back the carbonation on this a little bit.
But I got to tell you.
It's still damn good.
Well, you know what I got to tell you? It's probably because this is the first one I had
out of the can.
In the can, yeah. I had two of these on tap while I was there, and they were fantastic. It wasn't as carb. I also had a rye barrel-aged Doppelbock.
Mm.
I had a Roggen beer and I had a smoked Bock.
That's a nice rounded out palate right there.
That was a good lunch. That was a good lunch. So,
did you eat any food or was that lunch?
No. I had sauerbraten and I had a couple of German pretzels with some beer mustard.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was very nice. It was really tasty. It was a good place. If you ever get down to Knoxville, I highly suggest going to Schwarzbrau.
I really need to get back to. I need to get back to Knoxville. I really enjoy Knoxville. Alliance is really good. Oh, what's it? Shades of Autumn. Something of Autumn.
Shades of Autumn.
Shades of Autumn. Pretentious.
Yep.
Pretentious is really good. And then
Pretentious is not that pretentious.
No,
ironically.
not at all. But I think my favorite one is it's up across the river from the main town. Damn it, I can't remember the name of it right now.
Well, it's by Schultzbrow, because Schultzbrow's up across the river from the main town. I think I know what you're talking about too. I can't think of it.
It's two words. It's something like arrogant bastard, but it's not arrogant bastard.
Right. It'll come to you.
Especially since I'm pulling up the map right now to find it. It's funny. Most people Google by words. I Google by maps half the time.
There you go.
So I know where they are.
Right. I do the same thing.
Right. There's downtown. There's Sweet Peas. Oh my God. Oh, eat a Sweet Peas if you get a shot. That's some good stuff right there. Crafty Bastard.
Crafty Bastard. That's it. Crafty Bastard.
Yeah.
On the tip of my tongue, Crafty Bastard was.
That is some good stuff.
That's good. A lot of IPA heavy at Crafty Bastard.
Were they? They weren't when we were there.
Yeah.
Oh God, there's a new brewery just up the road. God, there's a couple new breweries up the road from them.
Not IPA only, just IPA heavy.
Yeah. So Next Level, that's new. They weren't there. If they had been there, I probably would have made it to Schultzbrow because they're halfway between those two breweries.
Right there, yeah, exactly.
And then Yeehaw opened up a tap room in Knoxville too.
It's funny. I was at Jess and I were at
this
Yeehaw.
one's new too. Jewel Brew XUL. That's a new one. Man, I got to get back there. They're opening breweries left and right there.
Jess and I were at Yeehaw in Johnson City on the way back from our Asheville trip back in February, and we were at Yeehaw in Nashville. But I did not go to Yeehaw in Knoxville. So
hey, you know what? You were right.
Could have been the trifecta. I was right. I know we were right there in the corner again. We wanted to get out. We were sitting there eating lunch. The whole premise of stopping there was obviously to split up the trip because it's about halfway. Knoxville's about halfway between Asheville and Nashville, right?
Right.
So it was to split up the trip.
That's why we stopped there.
Split up the trip, have lunch, and also a friend of ours, mine and Jim's, that we went to high school with. That we haven't seen in like 27 years, and we were good friends with them. On Facebook, everybody's liking everybody's post, but what do you do with that? We haven't seen him in like 27 years, so we met up. He's about 30 minutes south, so he came up and met us at Schultzbrow. So cool. We had some beer there. But while we're sitting there, Chuck Aaron, everybody's texting me, "Get your asses to Nashville. Where the hell are you guys?"
Well, I mentioned Alliance Brewing. You know who opened up a tap room just down the road from Alliance Brewing?
Who's that?
Highwire.
They did.
Yes.
They did. I do know that. I did know that.
Oh, and so here's the thing about Asheville. John mentioned Nashville. This is Asheville. Here's the thing about Asheville. There's so many breweries you need to go there. Do yourself a favor and do not skip Highwire. They are one of the sleeper breweries in Asheville. They are doing such phenomenal beer there. And when people talk about Asheville, you don't hear people talk about Highwire up at the
Nobody
top
talks about Highwire, and it's really good. And if you have the time, hit both. Have one beer in one, but go to the other. Both places are like really different. I mean, the one down close to the Biltmore Estates, that's the production facility. Go there. The tap room's cool. The building's great. Obviously it's a huge production facility, but they do brew beer in the other one that's on the South Slope, and it's a really cool tap room. So you really got to hit that one up.
Everything on South Slope is
and unfortunately,
it's funny.
The only one of the two that any of our stickers are in are the one on the South Slope. So,
so it's funny. We were just talking about how this is probably a little overcarbonated. John's burping. I just got the hiccups. So there's physical proof right there.
This is
they overcarbonated their can.
But you know what? I'll tell you what. This will stay carbed a lot longer, and this beer will last a lot longer.
It'll stay fresher.
It'll stay fresher. So
what you do is take your beer, swirl it around, give it a. So here's one thing we've never discussed. There's two schools of thought when you're pouring a beer, right? There is the whole at this angle and pour it in so you don't foam over.
And then there's I won't say his name, who he's a big proponent of. Pour, go ahead.
Where you pour hard, get it so the foam is there, let it settle down, then pour in again, and then top it off.
Releasing a lot of the CO2.
And by releasing a lot of that CO2, you get a lot more flavor from the beer by doing that. And you don't get as gassy.
You're not going to, I mean, you might burp if you drink a lot of it quick, but
yeah,
you're not going to just, it's not going to be a constant like gas, boom, boom, boom.
And I'm starting to become more of a proponent of that latter style.
I am too. And I poured this, I'm agreeing 100% with you. I have been doing that,
but for the show,
on the show.
Yeah, you do it on the show because we want to be able to drink it right away. And,
right.
Speaking of right away, and now back to that segue. We're going to re-segue into that segue. There's a beer that you can't rush. You cannot rush that beer.
Oh no, you can't rush that.
And that we're back to Guinness.
Right.
You know, there's that 118 and a half seconds it has to rest before it's drinkable.
Yes, yeah, not 118 and a half, yeah.
And a half. So when I would go out with Meathead, Jason, and we're at a bar that didn't have craft beer, you know, the fallback's always Guinness. Or if we're going to an Irish pub, we're just ordering Guinness. And when we were at Kelly's, I took my first draw of Guinness. I looked at Carrie. I'm like, please make sure you remind me every now and then that I have to have a Guinness because I forgot how much I love this damn beer.
By the way, quick aside, hold that thought. Quick aside, Jess poured me at the rail on St. Patrick's Day. I had 3 blacksmiths. I haven't had them in years, and it's fan-fucking-tastic.
That is it's half Guinness, half Smittix.
Yep. Delicious.
The 2 most commonly found nitro beers in the United Kingdom. Because Smittix is Northern England, correct?
Yes.
Right. So I forget exactly what town it's from, but it's Northern England. I don't think it's Manchester.
Yep. And it's the same distribution company, too. So most people that have Guinness have Smittix.
Smittix.
Yeah.
But I told her, remind me that every now and then I've got to order a Guinness, no matter where I am. But when I was out with Meathead, what we would do is, you know, the bartender would come around, and one of us go, 2 Guinnesses, please. He'd go, okay. He'd start to walk away. Then we'd go, excuse me, I'd like 2 as well. because
you just got his order. You didn't get my order.
They take so long to pour and they put he'd come back, put the 4 down, we did the slancha and whoop, and the thing's gone. And we put it down, then we grab our second Guinness, and the bartender's like, now I see why you order them 2 at a time. I'm like, you might as well start pouring our third.
Right.
But the first one always goes down like, and Tom stealing your stick again, like a Tijuana hooker. So fast, so easy.
And there's no digression in there either.
So. No, it's just the way it goes. But this is, and we keep teasing this segue. So what this segue is we're going to do something for the first time ever in the locker room. It's the first time. We're going to run a contest. This contest is based on the fact that in August, this guy with 2 thumbs is heading off to the Emerald Isle. Heading off to Ireland.
He's not going to the Wizard of Oz.
No, that's Emerald City. That's Emerald
City. Right.
Well, that's a horse of a different color.
That's a horse of a different color.
Come with me. I couldn't quote too much of that damn movie.
Yeah,
but no, so this is the contest. The contest is how many Guinnesses will the Beer Samurai drink whilst in Ireland? So the rules are, we're doing the Price is Right rules. Whoever comes closest without going over. 1. 2, since I am leaving in August, we're not giving the dates just yet. And since I'm leaving in August, all guesses must be in by Friday, August 4th at midnight.
Midnight, Friday, 11:59 p.m. Friday, August 4th.
Yes, prior to midnight.
11:59. Fair enough.
And we will post something up that will give you where to send your guesses. You're either going to send them to our message for Locker Room Guys on Facebook, or you can send them to John at loggerroom.com.
Yes, either of those two will work. Actually, you could send them to. You could also send them to Beer Samurai at loggerroom.com.
If you ever teach me how to get into my email,
The best place to send them to is just message them into the Facebook page.
That is the bet. That's your best.
That's the best bet. That's the best bet. So if for some reason your click message on the Facebook page for the Log Room Guys and send your guests in there. If for some reason it's not working, you can send them into John at loggerroom.com or Beer Samurai at loggerroom.com.
And we'll get yours. We'll get your.
Either way, we'll get them both ways. But do the messenger, Facebook Messenger message.
There are a few people that are ineligible for this contest because it is being sponsored by Coastal Brew Works. Any current or possibly future employees, because there's no payroll yet per se, are excluded. All partners and family of the Locker Room Guys are excluded. And we've got John and I have a discussion going back and forth if we're going to exclude the members of the Dippa Gang. So the Dippa Gang are the group of fellow idiots that we message back and forth on Facebook about our drinking exploits. So they kind of have an unfair advantage because they know my drinking habits. So we don't know if we're going to exclude them or not.
Right. We haven't decided yet. We'll get back to you by next week's show on that one.
Yeah, we'll see about that one.
More than likely, they'll probably be excluded, but we're gonna make an executive decision within the next couple of days, and we'll decide. So.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that one out. And then, so you're probably
not to mention, most of them have already what the prize is, so it really doesn't make any sense.
We're going to mention the prize anyway.
Right. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So, they all have that. That's what you're saying. They've already had it. So
they have
the prize is Coastal Brew Works will be supplying a 4-pack of their beer. And then, we'll have to leave it to one of the owners if it is one specific 4-pack, a 4-pack of their choice, or a mixed 4.
It'll be a mixed 4-pack.
There we go.
A T-shirt and a pint glass.
Oh, there you go. Oh, Johnny just upped the ante on this one. So those are the rules. Now, here's the thing. You're probably going to want to know how long I'm going to be there. You're probably going to want to know where I'm going. There's a lot of other factors that are going to be involved in how many pints of Guinness I'm going to drink. Because I'm not going to go to Ireland, go sit my butt down at Temple Bar and just drink the whole time I'm there.
Right. Because
in which case we're probably looking at a number in the hundreds.
Right.
So there are many, many factors that are going to put the number up or bring that number down. Each show between now and then, we will announce one of these factors. We'll do it at the top of the show, close to the top of the show, in that witty banter portion of the show.
Right.
We will do that so as not to bore our guests too much. And so we'll see how this goes.
It should be fun. It should be fun.
John's already, even though John's not eligible, he's got his number in.
I've got my number in already. But I will tell you this: to be eligible to win the prize, other than the stipulations we've already given you,
you must follow.
You must follow, like, and follow us, the Log Room Guys, on Facebook and on Instagram.
That is fair.
You know what? And on Twitter.
And on Twitter. Must be on Twitter too.
So
those the three.
If you're not on Twitter, because some people aren't on Twitter and they're on Facebook and Instagram, that's fine. But at least Facebook and Instagram. If you have a Twitter, you're on Twitter, and we'll find out.
We will find out.
We will find out.
We have ways of knowing. We have ways of making you talk.
Exactly. But
I don't know what accent that was supposed to be.
Like us and follow us on Facebook and Instagram, at least. If you have a Twitter, follow us on Twitter too. But in any event, yeah. And the
thing is, you're more than likely, if you're going to know all the factors and have a good, accurate guess, you probably already do both. But
fair enough. You probably already do both, but there's also another caveat there. Like and follow Coastal Brewworks on Facebook and Instagram as well.
yes, because they are the sponsor, and that's the way these contests go. So we'll have to put that on the splash page that we're going to put up there. So I will fix that and send that off to you, John. Because we on the splash page is still excluding the Dippa gang, but we'll have to figure that out. So you will see.
Most likely it excludes them, but we'll figure it out. We'll let you know by next week. So.
Maybe not exclude Stacy.
Yeah, it might exclude certain members. It might not exclude the Dippa gang as a whole, right? It might exclude
the most active members.
Right, exactly.
So we'll see. But the thing is, we consider them family anyway, so they fall under that.
They fall under that facet. Anyway. Exactly. Anyway, all right.
And Brian was an ex-employee of the Lager Room.
Technically, he was. Or is.
Oh, wait a second. And he's almost kind of an employee of the Coastal Brewworks because he pours for you guys.
He does on that.
Brian's absolutely
Brian's out. Brian's out.
Right out.
Brian's out. So we'll get back to you next week on all the specific.
We'll figure that out.
If there's any other people that are excluded. Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. They'll know, and we'll know. So that's all the support.
We'll tell them.
You worry about yourself and do what you got to do.
Yeah, we'll take it off the splash screen and we'll just tell them. Yeah, you guys don't count. You can put your guesses in. And you can have a private bet amongst yourselves.
Right. That's all. Anybody can guess. But,
yeah.
I got my guess in already, but I'm not winning,
Sean Kenny's got his guess in.
There you go.
So
there you go.
We'll see if he makes it official because he doesn't. And I didn't give anything away to him.
Nope.
And he's not excluded. But we'll see if he gets his in officially.
All right. Should we do the top three?
Top threes. I think. What are we doing for top threes?
Top three tonight.
Why did I get such a high pitch on that?
Top three favorite.
I went
beers.
Welsh.
Yeah, you did. Top three favorite beers at this year's AC Beerfest. Top three. Our individual top three favorite beers at this year's AC Beerfest.
Oh, I have four.
Oh well. Stipulation, as we always do. Top three. I'm going to put it back up again. Top three favorite beers at this year's AC Beerfest, not brewed by Coastal Brewworks.
I forgot I'm supposed to be afraid of crawls.
Yeah. Not brewed by Coastal Brewworks. There you go. So top three favorite beers at this year's AC Beerfest, not brewed by not brewed by Coastal
AC Beerfest. Not brewed at the AC Beerfest.
Right.
All right. I think I am going 4, 3, 2, 1 here.
You're doing 4, are you?
Yeah, I'm doing 4.
All right.
Number 4. And the only reason Heavy Real, this beer comes at number 4 is it doesn't taste like beer at all. And that was the Pineapple Whip in their Love series of beers.
Say it again.
In their Love series of beer, Pineapple Whip.
Pineapple Whip.
It really
the Pineapple Whip.
Whip. Yeah. Yes, Whip. Why do you say it that way? Say it what way? Whip.
Who's that by?
Heavy Real.
Oh, Heavy Real, right?
Yeah, so that's number 4, but it's only number 4. I mean, I love
it. It's an honorable mention.
It's an honorable mention because it doesn't really taste like beer.
Right.
So there's that. Number 3, Hidden Sands Sandy Blue. This is a Kolsch brewed with blueberry and cinnamon.
What is it called again?
Sandy Blue.
Sandy Blue. Oh, I've had that actually. Yes.
It's a good beer.
It's a good beer.
I was that makes a list because of the blueberry and cinnamon together is not something that you would think would really work too well in a beer. It works damn well in a cobbler, but blueberry and cinnamon in a Kolsch, that is a brave move, and I applaud them for it because they made it work. So that beer impressed me for that reason. Mm-hmm. This beer, and I know this is on John's list, so I'm going to put it at number 2. Mm-hmm. That Esquihart Den. Mm-hmm. This is an imperial stout with about every nut meat on the planet in it. No, not quite. They had what? Pecans, cashews,
a lot,
peanuts. There's 4.
It had raisins. It was conditioned on raisins, cacao nibs, macadamia nuts, cashews, pecans, and almonds.
Yes. They hit so many allergy points there.
All right.
Yeah. But my number 1 that I had there, This it's funny because the last beer festival that I was at, my favorite was a lager style, which normally you don't pay much attention to at a beer fest, because beer fest it's all about like the big IPAs, your big sticky stouts, so, the more funkier beers.
Sure.
But Litherman Limited has a beer called Misguided Angel, which is a dark lager. And this thing was a Czech style dark lager. It was probably about it wasn't black. It wasn't straight up Tomave Pivo. It was like just a little bit down on the color.
Misguided Angel?
Misguided Angel is the name of the beer by Litherman Limited.
Litherman Limited, right? They're out of Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah, this beer was really. It was impressed. I was very, very impressed by this beer. This was a very well brewed Czech dark lager.
Fair enough. Wish I had it, actually.
I told you to go get it. But you were manning the booth.
I was. So, awesome. That it?
On to you.
On to me. All right. I just have three. I have my top three. I'll give you them. Okay. My number three is Cardinal Sin by Twin Lights Brewing.
I didn't get the Twin Lights while we were there. No.
It's a collab with Bird's Mouth.
That makes yeah.
And it's an India Red Lager.
India Red Lager. I like that.
India Red Lager. It was pretty damn good.
I like that.
It was pretty tasty. My number two was Thunder in the Distance. It's a 13% barley wine.
Oof! I missed that one.
From Jersey Cyclone. Jan brewed it. It's
they were only two booths down from you, and I missed them.
No, Jersey Cyclone was on the other side of the.
Oh, that's right. They were.
They were all the way.
I was out there. They had like a double booth.
They did.
Yeah.
They were fantastic. I am going to and my number one. Den from Esquire.
It's good beer.
Tasty stuff. There you go. Those are my top three. So, this is less carb now that's been sitting.
Yes, that's why I've been sitting it there. I've been swirling it every now and then to work some of the carb out of it.
To work out of it, yeah. This is definitely, I have one more can of this left. So when I have it, I will be
hard poured.
But I will tell you, this is pretty cool. I got a 4-pack of this when I left. Take a guess, Dave. I want you to take a guess how much a 4-pack of this Schwartz beer was at the brewery. How much it cost me?
I'm going to go with $12.
You would be wrong.
$9.
You'd be wrong.
10.
You'd be wrong.
Am I getting close?
You were closer with 9.
This is an $8 4-pack?
$8 4-pack.
My God.
It was an $8.
And you only bought one 4-pack.
And I only bought one 4-pack. While we were walking out the door, I would have bought a case. I'm glad I didn't, because it is overcarbed in the can. But I would have bought a case. But we're walking out the door. I'm like, I got to get a 4-pack. So they're all walking out. I'm like, I ran back in. I grabbed a 4-pack. It was fantastic. So yeah, it was a great trip. And we've talked about it for a few weeks now. Obviously, it's been back. So, plan is to go to GABF this year.
I'm going to mute you again for one second. I'll be right back.
All right, mute yourself. Go for it.
No, not that.
Well, you can mute and do that if you want. It was fantastic. So, I highly suggest, just to wrap up some things we've been talking about, I highly suggest getting to the Seed down in Atlantic City. I believe they have hours on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I believe. You can double check, obviously, on their Facebook page and their website and all, but I'm pretty sure those are their hours. But get down there. If you're anywhere in the area, get to the Seed. Get to any of these Jersey breweries. All right. Honestly, you know what? If you're listening to this in Colorado, well, if you're listening to Colorado, you know beer. Hopefully anyway, but get to anywhere in Denver. But if you're listening to this in Iowa, get to your local craft brewery. That's the bottom line. Drink local. There's a lot of really, really, really good local beer. And even if we don't know the beer. I promise you, the area you're in, I can promise you, there's definitely good local beer. You want to try it. And I'm not knocking beer like even Coastal Brewworks beer, right? Even if we distribute to Iowa, right? Drink local, drink your local beer. Have ours, but drink your local beer. That's the important part. Drink local. Drink local is the moniker. I think we're going to start using it as a hashtag. I think, Dave.
Yeah, you got to put that in there.
Got to put that in there.
You're not going to get fresher beer.
You're not. It will not be fresher than if you drink local, and that's what it boils down to. And you're supporting local business, and that's what it boils down to too.
Well, the thing is, but drink local also expands. Right? It expands like when you travel. Drink what's local there.
Right, exactly. If you Dave and I, we've talked about this on the show for years now, right? We actually plan vacations around breweries.
Yep.
Okay. And that's exactly what it is. So drink local to wherever you are.
Yeah.
While you're home, drink local. When you go on vacation, drink local. When you go on a different vacation, drink local. It just it all applies. So
I just came back from Montreal, 14 different breweries in the Montreal area.
Exactly.
As a matter of fact, next week, I don't want to jinx it, but we're going to be having one of those breweries on that I visited.
This is true.
So that's going to be a lot of fun. Utah, my God, when I was out there, the breweries, such good stuff out there.
We've had 2 of them on already since he was out there.
Yeah.
One while he was out there, and one since. And another one will be on.
Technically, the one that we had on when I was out there was not from Utah. They're from Arizona.
Yeah, but as you said on the show several times now, they identify as Utah-ian.
We identify as from Utah.
Right.
That's funny. Really good beer and surprisingly good pizza.
Yeah. I still got to definitely try that one pie that you had out there.
Oh my God, so good, so good. It was just as good the next day too.
There you go.
Just there's no way we could finish it.
No, not at all.
But John's right. When wherever you live, drink from your local breweries. These guys work so hard. The guys in the rubber boots. And I tell you one thing, the hardest worker.
And the girls in the rubber boots.
I'll tell you one thing, the person that works the hardest at any brewery is the assistant brewer. Mm-hmm. Because the assistant brewer is the one that's got to clean everything.
Especially if the assistant brewer has a backslash after assistant brewer, and it says cellarman after assistant brewer.
Yeah.
Then that person, male or female, works the hardest.
And at our last show in June, may have one of those people with that exact title on the show.
Mm-hmm. And or second to last show in June.
No, the last show. Second to last show is a special show. The 27th.
27. Oh, yeah. You're right.
So, yes, that should be a fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you've got some really hardworking people here putting their heart and souls into their craft, making some great stuff. And if you like beer, buy from them. But then when you travel, seek out. And, there's a lot of people we really do not need to tell this to. Mm-hmm. We really don't. But going to the breweries.
I would imagine the majority of the people listening to the show know that already. So we're not telling anything to anybody that is the majority of people that are listening to the show. But those of you that, don't listen to the show, or maybe there are a few of you that listen to the show that don't know it, and that's fine. There's no problem. There's no harm, no foul. Drink local. It's really what it's all about. It's what it comes down to. Drink local.
Yeah, because if you're going to, like, say, Portland, Oregon, and you're hunting down Sierra Nevada, you're doing it wrong.
Right.
If you're in Chico, California, on the other hand.
You're in Chico, California. You better be going to Sierra Nevada.
Because you're going to find stuff there. Right. You're not going to find anywhere else.
Same as thing. If you're in really, I can't think of the name of the town south of Asheville that Sierra Nevada is in. Something Mills.
Yeah, I just call it Asheville.
It's Asheville proper, right? It's
Yeah.
the greater Asheville area.
It's a greater Asheville area.
Right.
And they had stuff there
Mills River.
It's stuff you're not gonna find.
Right.
When you go, especially go to if you go to the Sierra Nevada,
and it's like Disneyland for breweries.
Oh yes, it absolutely friggin' is. But there's on the board, I think it's what was it, yellow and green, or the ones that are brewed only there.
Yep.
You can only get there. They're not going to be.
You're not getting them
bottles or
anywhere else. They're brewed there. That's it.
Yeah, we're if you go on the tour ahead of time, and they realize that you really like craft beer and all that, they will tell you that this is what you want to go for.
Right.
Order these things.
Right.
So a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
But and then the thing is, if you don't want to hit brewery after brewery after brewery after brewery, what you can do is you can hit those tap rooms that support the local breweries.
Right.
And that's great. It may not be as fresh as you're going to get it at the brewery.
Right.
But it's still going to be damn good.
Still going to be damn good. So, anyway. All right. Should we wrap it up at this point?
Yeah, before I have to run off again.
Let's wrap it up on that.
Put it this way. I had tequila soak pickled habaneros.
They don't need to know.
Yeah, so I'll give you an idea. Let's go.
All right. So on that note,
it's not the churros.
It's not the churros.
Churro goes with a Schwartz beer.
There you go. Give it a try. While I read the outro, we'll wrap the show up for today on that note. We want to thank everybody for watching. And for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thank you for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.lagerroom.com. That's LAGERROOM.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and, of course, our YouTube channel. All of them are at The Lager Room. Remember, we go live with the video podcast on both Facebook and YouTube every Tuesday night around 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And for those of you who just want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcast, and iHeartRadio as well. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds, and you will never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. Drink a lot of beer, but drink responsibly. How is that churro with the Schwartz beer?
These actually work together.
There you go.
And actually, it takes that cola flavor out of it.
There you go.
Dries.
Should be good.
Churros
Cheers.
and Schwartz beer.
All right. Cheers, folks. We'll talk to you soon.
Cheers.
Take care.